Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We have a lot to cover today. I have notes like all over my desk. If you could see my desk, it's an absolute mess. So we right now have a huge solar flare, a class X, which is extraordinarily powerful, that came off the sun. Those usually are projected to hit us about 24 to 48 hours, depending within them going off. But as soon as they start to fire up and as soon as they start to send energy down, we feel it immediately. So a lot of text messages, a lot of personal messages coming in about this anxiety, this anxiousness, this like feeling like a quickening, and so to speak, going on right now. Totally normal, really amazing, because what's really happening is the sun is reflecting a lot of the energy that's teeing up for this full moon that's coming in, which is going to be pretty exciting as well. So we are about 3 to 4 days out from the actual full moon, depending on where you live. However, the energy starts to build around this time. So some of you have also been feeling that. Now, this moon is a rather pivotal moon because of the location of your body, which it's going to be affecting. So it's going to be heavy in the root or the first chakra. And whenever that happens, a lot of fear can come up, a lot of anxiety, a lot of just sort of doubting your safety in the world. So some of you may be finding yourselves watching the news and going down this oh no road of what might happen next, or getting really caught up in things. That is totally prime of that first energy center being off. So please take the time to peek at the AstroloYoga program for this month. It aligns you so that you don't have that extra energy that starts to flow through when things start to get a little bit dicey. And that's the coolest thing about the program, is you're really creating a connection between you and the plasma that is between us and the planets, us and the stars, us and the sun. So your actual physical body and the energy being that you are goes into alignment with those things and can help you tremendously physically. So things to expect over the next several hours. You may feel this heightening, like this quickening, this fast heartbeat, or this immediate thought that your body is going to try to relate to as something that's fearful or to be afraid. And I really want to caution you guys about that, to not go down that direction of fear and to not cultivate that, because once you do, you create this blockage between the energy that's coming in, and you start to feel it heavier and heavier and heavier, and you get lost in it. So just kind of accept it and do some breathing, do some relaxing, take a look at the breathing technique for this month. It's incredible. So really take some time to cultivate as you move through. I also had some questions that specifically came out to me that wanted to be addressed on the live Q&A that we have. So I have some notes in which those are going to be some pretty important topics that we cover. And these are kind of heavy. So breathe and just let your soul hear the words that I'm going to be speaking, and not your human ego self, because some things are things that you should take into consideration with your spirit and the things that you can do to cultivate while you grow. And some things just aren't for you. And that's the beauty of the world. You're allowed to choose those things. So don't get too caught up. But these are just going to be some of the personal things to kind of help you guys on your journey. So one of the questions that came in was, which tool should I go with when I'm feeling off? So this particular person wrote that they're concerned when they're feeling off or they're feeling lost. There's so many different options out there and so many different things that they can do that they can't pick one or trust themselves to pick one. So what I suggest for when you're feeling off in general, the tools are meant to get you into a different frame of mind. But there's still something outside of yourself that you're looking to fix what's going on inside. So instead of, when you're feeling off, reaching for something to do to fix it, try focusing on what you can do to switch your mind from what you're currently thinking about to something that feels a little bit better. So if you are noticing that you're thinking and thinking and thinking about work and about if your job is going to be okay and about if you're going to get fired or something of that nature, then you have to start cultivating the control and the ability to not choose that ego speaking and to choose your spiritual energy and to choose the soul that's within and switch your thoughts onto, you know what, it's a beautiful day. Or, you know, it's really exciting tonight. I'm going to be going home and spending time with my family. Or finding something in your external moment that is beautiful to you, looking at a flower, looking at the sunshine outside, finding a way to shut off that mechanism is going to be one of the most profound things you cultivate on your journey of finding the spirit that is you. You're literally drawing a boundary on things that are taking over your energy and choosing to no longer let that control you, which is something that we're going to be talking about in extensive ways throughout the Pillars of the Spirit program, which so many of you guys are already a part of, which I'm super excited on this YouTube channel. And that's going to start unveiling over the next few weeks. And it's going to be an amazing program of such proven success, having worked in this field for 2 decades and watched hundreds upon hundreds of people as I guided them to ignite inside of themselves rather than looking out to change. I'm super excited about that. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you can not miss one of those. So that would be the first thing I would say when you're trying to shut that mind off. You have to stop following it. And it's going to control you as long as you allow it. And it's as you're trying to switch out of that mode, it's going to become more and more aggressive. So consider it almost like somebody who's trying to take over you or somebody who's trying to steal your free will from you. How much are you going to feed that? And you're in perfect control at any time to switch that. Another question, when I wake up in the middle of the night, what is the best thing I should do to sort of soothe myself back into relaxation and get back into the mode of sleeping? I'm noticing a lot, I'm going through broken up sleep patterns. So broken up sleep patterns for me are the most fun time ever because they indicate time periods in which there's going to be a lot of integrated energy moving through me. So I almost never go back to sleep if I wake up in the middle of the night, unless it's like I wake up and there's a specific reason, like there's something going on in the house and I check that out, then I'll go back to sleep. But if I spontaneously wake up, I show that as a sign to go into meditation and to just really let that energy take a hold of me and to listen to what's coming through. So for me, when I'm trying to soothe back to sleep at night, I do a meditation, whether it's a guided meditation or it's an instrumental meditation. It always depends on what my intuition is calling for. For me, my biggest gauge is if there's a quickening when I wake up and my heart is pounding, I almost always go for a guided meditation. And if I'm just woken up and I'm still kind of tired or I'm just kind of in a more subtle or relaxed mode, then I'll do an instrumental meditation and practice some breathing and sort of let the universe show me how to breathe. And that's often what I also teach you guys on the AstroloYoga program, are a lot of those breathing practices that come through in the depths of the night. So I almost use that time as a really great period to sort of cultivate more knowledge. Also, that's often what's happening in the middle of the night is you're not paying attention to some things during the day that you could really be connecting with. So you'll start waking up in the middle of the night as you grow spiritually. And those will be opportunities for you to connect with that piece. And I absolutely promise you, when you meditate for the entire night, you feel better than if you slept the whole night. It's absolutely wild. I have been able to go on very minimal sleep. If I sleep 4 hours a night, that's a great evening. And I have always am loaded with energy, and I can't even touch caffeine because that puts me over the edge. So you'd be really surprised at how well your body adapts and how much more nourishing something like that is, getting in touch with your soul. Because that's kind of what sleep is in the first place. It's when we reevaluate and go and reconnect with our soul when our mind can be quiet. So it's kind of cool stuff. Okay. So sometimes I just feel overwhelmed and I don't know what to do. I take a peek at my spirit bag and what are some things I can do to make sure I stay on track? Okay. So those of you who have spirit bags, when you are feeling overwhelmed at what to do, the unboxing video is great. My amazing editor, Jake, is just incredible. He always puts timestamps underneath those videos so you aren't lost on what to do depending on which day it is. So take a peek at that, especially if you're somebody who really likes something laid out for them. And then you could just skip to the timestamp and watch the video on what to use on those certain days, or what to use on that time or during that time period. Also, the AstroloLife Facebook group is a great book. It's Astrolo, ASTROLO, and then Life, LIFE. Facebook group is a great group of our community that I give daily reminders to, and I make sure that I share the videos in, okay, this is what's going on today, take a peek at this. So that's another thing to sort of keep you on track, and those are some great tools to sort of be in the background for you guys. So you've got a lot of what you need. It's so important to love yourself enough to go and look for knowledge and to not have it force-fed to you. So sometimes we think it's easier if somebody writes it out and is like, okay, I'm going to give you a calendar of what you do and what you need to do each month. But that really is taking your free will away. And it's making it so you're just following someone else's system and what they're telling you to do. And that is 100% not what I believe in. I believe in cultivating who you are and you being able to make those decisions for yourself, because I'm not going to do you better than you. And there is not a guru or a teacher or a spiritual counselor or a religious practice on earth that is going to help you to find who you are if all you do is follow it blindly and you don't apply your own intuition in the process. And again, that's a lot of what the Pillars of the Spirit is about. So that is why I do not release a specific every single day of the month, this is what you do. That takes so much ability from you to cultivate that yourself, and also creates you to be lazy and want someone else to do it for you. And we've done that for a really long time on Earth. And I don't think that we're in love with how things have gone during that process. So it's time for us to take back what we are. And that's the whole point. Okay, last question that came up was sort of a pretty heavy one. And I actually have a children's series book called The Spirit That Is You that does cover a lot of this. And I'm going to be doing a full video series about raising children, because, you know, throughout the past 2 decades, I have worked with so many youth and so many parents on creating some foundations for them in ourselves. So I pass on to my little spirits, my children, and all of the youth I've been so blessed to work with that information, that cultivating it is their own. So for me, I teach everything, and then I step back and I let them decide or not decide, because they're going to be the next ones that sort of form this earth into what it goes into. And I don't want them to form just based on what the past did. That kind of seems like a waste of time, doesn't it? Okay, guys, so that is the live for today. And if there are no chat questions, I love you guys so much. And I so appreciate you guys taking some time out today to take a peek at this. Please share this stream with anyone that you think might be struggling today. Over the next 4 days, really, because with this solar flare coming in, it's going to be quite a hit emotionally. And there's also a lot of people right now that are searching. And the best thing that they can do is find themselves at the end of that search, rather than another thing that they can put their faith into that eventually will dissolve and they'll feel lost. So thank you guys so much for letting me be part of your journey. I love you, and I will talk to you and see you soon.